What's up, everybody? It's Mike from the Mike and Rob Show, and this is again our segment in life. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a modification on my 12-foot aluminum rowboat here. Cool things that I found out. So this is actually a circa 1960s, 70s boat. It's actually a Montgomery Ward aluminum boat, and that's the branded. And through like a little bit of research, I found out that these boats were actually made for Montgomery Ward by Starcraft. So kind of cool. So it's, you know, basically a Starcraft aluminum in disguise. So we're going to take a little walk through what we're going to do, and today really all I'm trying to get done is we want to make sure that we get the boat cleaned out really good, and then we're going to be painting the hull. We've got a couple of things that I'll talk about while we're painting the hull and doing things like that, and I'll give you like kind of a rough idea of what we're going to be doing in the boat. Let's have some fun. A 12-foot aluminum boat, and what we're going to be doing is we're just going to get, as you can see, she's pretty dirty, so we're going to get her nice and cleaned out on the inside, nice and cleaned out on the outside. We're going to do a little bit of pressure washing, kind of get any of this sort of like flecked paint, you know, anything that's going to not let our other paints adhere. I am going to be doing one kind of step that I'll show you guys in a bit that I think is just going to help with the longevity of the boat and overall. In general, the boat's in really good condition. There's always a lot of worry about these transoms. As you can see, the transom on this is actually in really good condition. There's no rot or anything on the plywood, so that's one issue that we don't have to worry about. She's got some dings. We're not going to worry about the dings that are in her because, I mean, it's an aluminum boat. That's going to happen. What we're going to end up doing is, so down here, we're going to be adding like an actual like flat bottom floor, and the flat bottom floor, I'm not sure, I think it's just going to be in this area right here, but what I do plan to do is so you see you've got these seats, and if you look at other videos, you'll see that a lot of people remove these, or they use them as supports for the platforms that they're going to make. I'm kind of going to do a little bit of both of those. So here on this seat right here, we're actually going to take the flat parts of these seats out, but we're going to maintain these side pieces here, and those are going to be what we're going to use to support our bulkheads that we're going to be putting in. If you guys check out Engineered Anglers vlog, you'll see he does a lot of the kind of the style that I'm going to be using. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to take these out. Back here, we're going to have our fuel storage, and then we're going to have a couple of hatches in here. And then on these, we're actually going to use rigid foam here to create bulkheads. And so we're going to take this out. This is going to be storage from here back. This is going to be where we're going to put our bulkhead. We're going to build the platform off of that. And then this middle section here, again, we're going to take the tops of the seats off, and we're going to use the sides as our bulkheads. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this space between these two seats so that there's a little bit more walking room. And so this seat is actually the platform here is actually going to start on this side. We'll build a bulkhead here, and then that bulkhead will move into our casting platform, which will be up here, and down in here we'll have some storage, a couple of hatches here. We'll have battery storage up here for our trolling motor so that we're balancing out our weight. And I am going to kind of make the boat a little bit more front heavy. You'll notice when and this is one thing, watch more than one video. I appreciate you guys watching mine, but definitely kind of move around and look at some different ones, because a lot of people have a lot of different ideas. So what you see that I do that you like, go ahead and incorporate that into your build. What you see that other people are doing that you like, incorporate that into your build. I'm doing the same thing. There's a lot of different people who do this, who take these boats and make them fishing boats. And so there's a lot of different resources that you can go ahead and take a look at. So, like I said, we're going to have a casting platform here. We're going to be moving this seat around a little bit so that we have more walking space in here. And then this seat, we're going to be kind of taking out. We're going to move this a little bit forward, put some storage hatch in here, and then in the back we're going to have our gas storage and everything, and our motor and all that. we'll be putting in a bilge pump. We are going to put in a bilge pump. Right now, I'm not thinking that I'm going to put in a live well. We'll see how that goes. I doubt that I'm going to do a live well, but I'm definitely going to probably do some sort of cooler or something like that. The other thing that we may be doing, I know this boat will take probably a good 1,000 pounds, and that's with gear, people, everything in it. So we're going to see how the build goes. A lot of this build is going to be done with foam and PVC and aluminum. I'm not actually using any wood, to be perfectly honest with you. I was worried about the weight of wood. I know a lot of people aren't worried about the weight of wood, and that's fine. But at this point, with COVID and the current lumber prices, it's actually going to be cheaper for me to go ahead and do the bulk of this with foam and PVC and aluminum. So that's what the boat's going to look. That's kind of what we're going after. We may add float pods here and here, depending upon what the weight situation is. But we'll get there when we get there. For today, we're just going to go ahead and pressure wash her out and get her painted. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we've got the decals pretty much cleaned off now. The inside of the boat is pretty clean. I'll probably do another wipe down once I get it flipped over. But right now, we've got it flipped over because we want to go ahead and get the hull completely done before we flip it over, because we're really not going to have a lot of access to it. It's not going to be easy to flip the boat over after we start framing and everything on the inside. So get the outside completely done. Right now I've got all the decals scraped off. I've just got some goof off sitting right now, and so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the actual cleaning of the outside of the boat, getting it nice and getting all the paint chips off of it, making sure that it's a nice clean surface for our paint, and then we'll go ahead and start painting. And here we go, guys. All right, and we are done. So we are painted black. I see a 12-foot boat and it is painted black. So cool things here. So now we're going to flip it over. So this will be the last viewing of the boat flipped over like this, and then we'll get it kind of resituated on our blocks and start to do the internal framing. So that was the power washing and painting of the boat. Just a quick thing I'll show you guys if I can zoom in here real quick. And I want to show you here. So on these aluminum seams here, and all the way down the run here and all the way down that, I went ahead and I actually did Flex Seal. So I used the black Flex Seal spray paint just to give it like an extra sealant around all of the rivet holes that were already in place. There's like kind of some repair that's been done to it like over the years. Again, this is like, I think this thing's like a 1968 or 66 or something like that. So it's been around for a while. So, but you know, just again, it's been cared for, and I'm going to give it a little bit more TLC, and we're going to have a great boat when we're done. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time when we begin the framing.